Crypto anarchy! Neon lights and broken screens. AI rules the new machine. Miners dig, but they don't eat. Fiat's dead, we're on the street. Cash is burning, banks are dust. No more trust, no more us. Robots took the 9 to 5. Now we fight just to survive. Burn it down, no control. We're the ghosts of the protocol. Should break the chains, take it back. Crypto punks don't fade to black. Crypto market. Billionaires just pull the strings, hoarding coins like cyber kings. We were promised something more, but we're just numbers in a war. Cash is burning, banks are dust. No more trust, no more us. Robots took the 9 to 5. Now we fight just to survive. Burn it down, no control. We're the ghosts of the protocol. You break the chains, take it back. Crypto punks don't fade to black. Crypto anarchy. No power's fake, it's all a lie. No escape, they own the sky. Decentralized, not for long. Fuck the rules, we sing this song. Crypto anarchy. Crypto anarchy. Burn it down, no control. We're the ghosts of the protocol. You'll break the chains, take it back. Crypto punks don't fade to black. No more leaders, no more kings, no more wallets. Pull the strings, crypto's ours. The world is fried. We'll still fight till the day we die. Crypto anarchy. Crypto anarchy.
天狼は炎で沈む金融界は涙で濡れる混乱と高度の運命でこのシステムを我ら砕け天狼は炎で沈む金融界は涙で濡れる混乱と高度の運命でこのシステムを我ら砕け燃やせ壊せフィアットの時代は終わったぜ鎖は切れた金は殺すホストはクラッとタクタブーストビットコインが王座を奪い銀行不要自由を奪回中央なしで支配は消える未来のドアを俺たち開けるコインが王座を奪い均衡不要自由をバック中央なしで支配は消える未来のドアを俺たち開ける火が燃える煙が舞う AI が仕事を奪うだが俺らは止まらない新世界に火を灯す負けろもは炎で沈む金融界は涙で濡れる混乱 と行動の運命でこのシステムを我ら砕け燃やせこうせいやその時代は終わったぜ鎖は切れた金はコストはクラフトオタクだブーストビットコインが王座を奪い銀行不要自由を奪回中央なしで支配は消える未来のドアを俺たち開けるビルが燃える煙が舞う AI が仕事を奪うだが俺らは止まらない新世界に火を灯す
Digital wasteland. You were sweating when the neon lit. I was a coin lost in the system's maze. A vision as a room for freedom was my way to survive. I crashed the dukes, they burned all away. Neon streets, standing here, we're block to block. Flickering screens, no safe to avoid. Still surviving day by day. Will you ever break free from the chains that fiat made? Tonight, burning money, feel the burning money. Spending this lonely nights, taking more. Tonight, burning money, touch me, burning money. Show me your digital stash, burning cash. Trust the system, judging or hear the lies. I think you're saying it's all going fine. No more banks, no more chains to bind, keeping us enslaved. Tell me how to break free from this night. Neon streets, standing here, we're block to block. Flickering screens, no safe to avoid. Still surviving day by day. Will you ever break free from the chains that fiat made? Tonight, burning money, feel the burning money. Spending this lonely nights, taking more. Tonight, burning money, touch me, burning money. Show me your days with your stash, burning cash. Tonight, burning money, feel the burning money. Feel the burning money, life's taking more. Tonight, burning money, touch me, burning money. Show me your days with your stash, burning cash. Tonight, burning money, feel the burning money. Tonight.
What's the second thought? There is no second pass.
Good evening, wherever you guys are. Happy Friday. Let's get it. Let's go. Cliff, how's it going, my man? Cliff, number one, of course, here today. How you doing, man? Dancing with, of course, the full moon and the chaos. Yes, Neb's also here. How's it going? Open mic madness tonight. That's right, guys. If you are participating with the crypto future community, you know what we're talking about. Of course, the link is in the description for, of course, Rob, the man with the gems, his plan, of course, over there. Yes, what else we got here? Bring the booze, baby. Yes, Nebs is ready. Definitely ready, too, for a drink or two tonight as well, guys. All right. Yes, Discord. Yes. Could do future Patreon open mic night. Yes. And eventually we're going to have our Chaos Crew open mic nights here on the channel. If we ever take off and do these parabolic runs we've talked about, past bull runs. Chaos Crew, yes, Strawberry Dragon's also here, our favorite flavor of dragon, also in the chat, still fighting another, I cannot believe how the hell does she still have her job? It's insane. I'm screaming from the rooftops every day, and yet she still is here. Yo, Super Danny in the house. How's it going, Super Danny? How's it going? Super Friday, yes. Happy Friday, crazies. Happy Friday, Ben. Had to definitely change the pull up for you, my man. Thanks again for your suggestion. And, it is off to the races, guys. We're gonna have a fun night live stream. I'm going to be playing the entirety of the CZ and Peter Schiff debate on gold tonight. So it looks like by the chat and the polls showing that there's still a dollar saving as a savings vehicle is still pretty high up there. 30% of you guys saying you're still saving your money in silly fiat. What are you doing? Have you learned nothing? What are you even subscribed to my channel? What are you doing? Oh my God. Oh, all right. I tease. I'm not gonna burn that one, but yes, I really want to. Oh my God.
What are you,
all right.
stupid?
Moving on. I'll get back to that in here in a second. Otaku, you left out the lottery tickets on your poll. Yes, I added them. Thanks again, Ben, for that. Great. There's a lot of people I know that still bet on the lottery tickets, even though it's just a tax on the dumb and the poor. Boom. I said it. I said it. Gamma God says, good evening and happy Friday, Otaku Chaos family. Yes, hope everyone's doing well. Let's get this money. Hope, yes, you as well, Gamma. Thanks again for coming out. We love you, Gamma. We love you, Gigi. Also, who else do we love? Nebs. Yeah, he said someone had to vote dollars. Someone had to. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe you guys. Yes, Nebs. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Audra. Yes, we can't be all Rhodes scholars, Nebs. Yes. Ben. Otaku-san, what the F? Setup polling question was that? I took me so long to push the button. Oh no! I couldn't force myself to push the fiat button, says Cliff. Nice. At least he knows what's up. Milk Money, yes. What's up, everyone? What's up? Happy Feed the Fire Friday. That's right. Milk Money, it is time. Feed the Fire Friday.
Satoshi started a fire in cyberspace. Take your fiat currency and feed the fire.
Yes, thank you, Sailor. Thank you. It's another Friday, guys. Happy Friday. We made it. You guys made it through the Fiat Factory this week, and of course, we made it to Friday. What's up, everyone? What is up? Milk Money in the house with all the fire and flames. Thank you so much, Milk Money, for those flames. Ben Lawrence says, Story Dragons, did you get the Christmas list yet from your kids? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's that time, isn't it? It's that time. Yep. It's time for Christmas. There you go. Happy? Oh my God. Not quite there yet. Yeah, who keeps changing my name in Discord, says Ben. I don't know, man. Everyone is so chaotic over there. If you guys haven't joined in the Discord yet, anyone, of course, over there can change. I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it again. I already said too much. Anyway, CZPT says Colin loves metal. Yes, Colin loves metal. How you doing, my man? How you doing? I miss my guitar. Yeah, Hebs, Cliff, Milk, yeah, Danny, Strawberry Scrub, Andra, and Colin. Roll call coming from Gamma Goddess tonight. Thank you. Yeah, Gamma. Nasty Nebs. I'm not sure what he said. I must have missed it. Oh, you're talking about the CZP? That wasn't Nebs who said that. All right. I love that intro song, Block to Block, Burning. Oh, Cash. Yes. Thank you. It's one of my favorites as well. Ben Lawrence says, is, Little G looking, for my Little Pony gear? GG. Oh, we got, yeah, I guess we're talking about gift giving in the chat here. Strawberry Dragons, Ben told my kids no gifts this Christmas. It's all going to crypto. There you go, Strawberry. You gotta teach them when they're young, right? That's how you win.
So much, you may even get tired of winning.
We're gonna get there eventually. Happy Friday, Chaos family. Yes, Brave Farming Freedom. I'll be on the road listening. I'm happy to be your choice of listening. It's insane on the road. I still can't. You gotta pinch me. I can't believe it's real. And people tell me that all the time. They're listening to me on the road. They're listening to me on their TVs. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. I still can't get used to it. Brave Farming Freedom says, "What's the toy in the Happy Meals this month?" Says Ben Lawrence. It's probably a My Little Pony. I don't know.
Are you stupid?
It's a toy version of the McRib with a Bitcoin on it, which we still didn't get the big McRib pump yet. All right, coming soon, they say. All right, let's get into it, guys. All right, enough with the pleasantries. Let's dive into it. We got a lot to cover tonight, and I'm going to do it in short order. I'm going to do the lightning round of all of our metrics, and then we're going to dive into CZ versus Peter Schiff on gold versus Bitcoin at Dubai 2025. It just happened last night, and the video came out today, so I wanted to watch it with you guys. I think it'd be a good time, a good fun event to watch on Friday night. You don't have to pay to view this one. All right, let's go. Let's get it. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin, again, let's kind of skip through all this, get the dancing mascots out of here. Bitcoin sitting at 89,000 and some change right now. Get the dancing mascots out of here, please. And gone. 89,377 right now currently. Pretty much played out how I said it was going to play out today after we, of course, had these horrific morning open, which, of course, we called for baseline bull last night. Didn't quite get that. That's why we have a 97% accuracy here on the channel, with going, of course, with Crypto Chaos Magic. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do the ritual in a long time, but it has, of course, played out in our favor either way. Yeah, we did come back down to more so on top of our bear target a little bit here, not quite as low, but looking how this staved off 85, the treachery that would have been 85K at the bottom of this channel. We of course kept the ball rolling a little higher, right? 88,000 flat is where we bounced off today, and going sideways more than likely into the weekend with probably a little bit of a we'll see, we'll get into it, see where we are. A little bit of a upward momentum into the weekend with low liquidity, hoping to keep us going in the right direction, slightly up and to the right for the Fed meeting next week on Wednesday. We can still see a big drop and a retracement on Monday, but we're going to get into all that later. All right, Cliff coming in with a... he's paying for everyone to view this event tonight. $20 super chat. Boom! Coming from my robot friend, Cliff.
Money now. Me, money needing a loan.
Damn! Bullish! Bullish, just got a vibe for a little longer. Hodl, hit them likes and consider subscribing to, of course, the Crypto Chaos, guys. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe down there. Thanks again, Cliff, tonight. Oh man, you didn't have to. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Cliff. Yes. Drinks are on Cliff tonight, guys. What's up, Otaku? What's up, Go Time? How's it going? Yes, Cliff filling the season of giving today, says Ben Lawrence. Damn, Gamma Goddess, salute you. Yeah, says Go Time. And how you doing, Go Time? It's been a minute. How you doing, my man? All right. Little Gigi is a Blippy and a Pink Frog fan. Blippy's the dog, right? The blue dog, right? Gotcha. All right. Moving on. 89,300. Gotcha. Good and grand and wonderful. Let's get through all the metrics, guys. I'm gonna do a lightning round. I even have some articles pulled up, but most of it's just hopium. I'm telling you, I went through all the news sites tonight, and all of it is pretty much Bitcoin oversold, Bitcoin at the bottom, bottom is in, here's the next time we saw this range, in the breakout, in the 2022, it's just constant hopium. I'm telling you guys, it feels like the bottom's in just by looking at the articles tonight. I'm gonna speed run through some of them because most of them aren't really newsworthy to begin with. All right, here we go. Boom! We're sitting at right now, Bitcoin at 89.3, still stuck in the same range I showed you earlier. The order book's still kind of flat. It is Friday, again, going into the weekend, already Saturday in Japan right now. All right, moving on. U.S. national debt sitting at 38 trillion, 442 billion, just a hair away from the halfway mark to 39 trillion. The point of no return has been reached. Some economists said that happened a long time ago when we hit like 34, 35 trillion. And we continue, of course, to, print more and more money. And our national debt, of course, the interest alone is over $1 trillion every single year now. We'll see how this plays out in the future. It's probably not good. The Fed decision in December, I told you guys it's going to be 90% off. 90%. 90% certainty for a 25 basis point cut this week. We got it, right? So quickly weekly roundup on this idea. And next week, guys, I'm telling you, it's going to hit 97, just like we did before the last one. And we're going to get that rate cut. And it's hopefully going to start looking like it's going to get priced in by the weekend. I hope so, man, because this doesn't feel like it at all. All right, fear and greed index sitting at fear at 40, coming up even closer. I think we were at 42, 44. We were a hair away from going into neutral on the stock market today. So we did come down a little bit I guess the weekly close. And the crypto fear and greed right now sitting at 23 in extreme fear. I'm going to refresh that for the stream because we don't sleep. Still sitting at extreme fear in 23. Redonkulous. Moving on to the Dixie, still holding 98.9. Hopefully, this is the last time we see 99, and we of course come back down next week and proceed to 97, 96, 95 on the Dixie. All right, of course, just your daily reminder. We double topped probably right here on the beginning of November and the middle of November, double topping at 100, probably for the last time we see this year. All right, moving on to the crypto bubbles here on the day. Still down about 4% on the day on the average for most assets. What's the biggest takeaway to the downside here on the daily? It's nothing crazy here. Maybe AVAX might be my top pick on the daily here, almost 9% off right now, 8.5, whatever. Other than that, there's nothing really huge here. It was this Canton Network down 13%, Dash down about 10%. Nothing I really like that's down a huge amount on the day. Let's take a look at the week real quick here, see what's also moving to the downside. Any opportunities here? Zcash still more than 22% off on the week. Maybe a good time to DCA into some Zcash. Currently sitting at $358 per Zcash. All right. Of course, you guys have been waiting for a pullback. I think it's pretty much here. And we already got a little bit of a bounce to get early in the week. What else we got? That's pretty much it. The only things, there's Starknet down 22% as well. On the weekly here. Let's take a look at most on the month. We're looking for 30s and 40s here. I already been telling you guys, Swee's already caught back up. It was 40% off earlier in the week. Now it's only 22% on the monthly, right? So we've already caught up to 20% of those gains back on the month. So it's not in my top picks here. Zcash still down 25% even on the monthly though. So that's pretty significant. Even though it did rip 400% already, it could still get back in the headlines and the spotlight soon. ICP is probably my top pick today. Almost 40% off on the monthly. It's one of the biggest movers to the downside. I think I see true potential coming soon for it. Virtuous Protocol down about 37% as well. So those are going to be my top 2 picks on the top 200 for sure. Again, guys, just your daily reminder, not financial advice, just what I would do with my 2 sats today.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, Bitcoin market cap dominance still sitting at 59.25. You guys know what that means? It's close enough. It's
This
60%
entire
dominant.
idea of like 60% dominance is bullshit, ridiculous, stupid, right?
Yeah, and it continues to be so, Sailor. No bull run for us this year. All right, on the top 10 assets in the world, let's take a look at that real quick. I jumped over a little bit. Okay, top 10 assets in the world today, still about the same. Cardano still sitting at number 10. Nothing's changed there. Top 20 still holding is Sui, which did flip this morning. I showed you guys Hedera and Avalanche for the top 20 slot. Happy to see that there. With Zcash on the outskirts here. So it's possible that Sui could flip Zcash yet again. But other than that, it's pretty much been the same. We did see Bitcoin Cash over the last 2 days flip Hyperliquid. Other than that, everything else still pretty much in the same spot with, XRP's market cap looking at, it dropped a little bit more, down to 122, billion. Not too much, lower than we saw this morning. I think 123, 124. All right, moving on. I'm just trying to do a lightning round, guys. We got to get into the main event. My favorite metric to share with you guys every single day, regardless of Bitcoin's price, is how much Bitcoin's left on these exchanges, guys. This is the main place where you can purchase them, right? They're all getting taken off exchanges today. If I can, get back to that page. There we go. And today's no exception. Again, we're still sitting at the all-time lows on the exchanges, sitting at 2.09 million. That's the lowest we've ever seen and remains to be that way. I'm excited to see what next week looks like on CoinGlass. All right, moving on. Oh boy, getting to some of these Bitcoin treasuries this week. Remember, Michael Saylor did purchase 650,000. He holds now. He purchased, I think it was 1,200, something like that, to get back to that solid number there we see today. Actually, I think that happened last. Was that last week or this week? I forget. I think that happened this week, and he announced he's going to start doing green dots, which are probably going to be him just stacking cash to pay some of his dividends instead, and still being purchasing Bitcoin via his stretch vehicle. All right. What else we have? I just want to take a look briefly on how many Bitcoin are leaving BlackRock's IBIT. Currently sitting at 777,000. Looks like we actually got an inflow at some point, because this was, I think, closer to 750 last week. So I think it's come up a little bit, but I don't remember. Don't take my word on that. But we did fall from 805, I think, was the record amount that they had under assets under management for BlackRock's IBIT Trust. Woof. Okay. All right. Moving on. Bitcoin Rainbow chart, guys. Still fire sale. Still 89,000 until we get back to 96K. That's why we need to flip that range, guys. I keep showing you guys on the chart. This right here is the bull run, basically, in a nutshell. The macro bottom. Did I delete it? Oh, please tell me I didn't delete it. Oh, I just cleaned the chart the other day. I think I deleted the fire sale. No. That's been on my chart for years. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I guess I got to do this again. All right, screw it. Fire sale right here, right around 80, 90. It's 95 currently. 96, 90. Damn it. Where are we at right now? It's about 96K. I got to go up. Yeah, we're still on sale, right? We're still on sale. So it's about here. Right about there. I'll have to fix that later, but yeah, that's still the fire sale. I cannot believe I deleted it. Damn it. I gotta get the emoji and everything. We're still basically right on top of the fire sale right now. The bottom of the entire macro trend for the entire bull run, basically, is how I look at it. All right, moving on. Top 10 assets in the world. Bitcoin's still holding top 10, but today got flipped by Broadcom. So that did happen today, guys. We did get flipped by Broadcom, sitting now damn near $2 trillion market cap, and Bitcoin sitting at 1.78. Robbed. We got robbed. Meta still below us at number 10 at 1.69 trillion. All right, just get through some of these headlines real quick, guys, and then we're going to catch up with you guys in the chat, and we're going to get to the main event. Bitcoin may still have bottom on Grayscale's projects as it projects a new high. Grayscale investment signals that Bitcoin's sharp pullback still aligns with its bullish market behavior, spotlighting the macro shifts and expanding institutional demand that could set the stage for potential new highs in 2026. They have any numbers on here. I just want to spend too much time. I just wanted to show you the overall feel of what I've been seeing, highlighting all of these outlets. So this is Bitcoin.com news, citing that, of course, Grayscale says bull run still on. Bitcoin plummets again below 90K. Here's what we know about the liquidation data. It's probably the only thing I didn't find that was entirely just bullish in the headline. Bitcoin was lost nearly 2% of its value in the last hour, fell to 88.9 thousand on this move, led by sharp liquidations, particularly in high leverage positions. Bitcoin's market capitalization stood at 1.78 trillion within a 24-hour trading volume, reaching at $60 billion. All right, so the rest of the market experiencing similar volatility, led by Bitcoin. Ethereum fell to $3,000, shedding over 2% in the last hour as well. While the 24-hour outlook of major altcoins, Solana, BNB, Dogecoin remains positive. Short-term volatility has increased significantly. A look at the distribution liquidation shows Bitcoin and Ethereum leading the way over the next 24-hour period. $170 million was liquidated in Bitcoin, and 101 million of that in ETH. Damn. And 22 million in Solana. Even smaller caps like Fartcoin, Zcash, and Pump experienced millions of dollars in liquidations, indicating that selling pressure has spread throughout the market. Despite what the volatile trend is, a slight selling trend was noted in the traditional markets. The Nasdaq index ended the day with a small 0.02% decline. All right, guys. So it does seem like the well games still continue before the FOMC meeting. Crypto market prediction, XRP's last chance before $1. Another Bitcoin wave to set $100,000 in stone. And Shiba Inu comes back to the bottom is possible. I guess. It's kind of weird, guys, that, everyone's got this idea in their head that we're going to continue the rally for Bitcoin, and altcoins are still going to sit in the background for another ride. And of course come up as soon as Bitcoin is done. Bitcoin needs the one move in order to get back to 100,000. Bitcoin is going to get close to one of these situations where a single breakout could completely alter the course of the market, following the weeks of severe selling and strong decline into the mid 80,000 range. Bitcoin is now stabilized, is making its way back to crucial decision zone. The chart is a distinct structure, which is coiled up to set the typically proceeds to the impulsive move, a slowdown into resistance, and a sharp recovery off the lows. The simple key level is 94K to 96K band, which is what we've been tracking as well, to flip that the macro trend line back to bullish again. We need to get above 95, 96K is what I've been saying. There is going as low as 94. This is the last unsuccessful rally stalled. Declining moving averages converged into the previous support, became resistance. Additionally, it's a barrier that prevents Bitcoin from moving forward in a meaningful way. I can see where they get the 94K from, because if we take longer, of course, to get up there, it's going to be at 94K. I mean, that's just how, we go on the chart with the time frames. So say, for example, we take, I'll show you here with the downtrend here. Say we take a little longer and we just keep extending this and extending this and extending this. And the breakout could also happen right around here, which is great. We're getting closer and closer to that soon. Today we would have needed 95, 96. And then, of course, by Sunday, Monday, we could definitely flip that at about a 94. Right there, sitting around 94. So that's I can definitely see what they're talking about there. All right. Moving back. Next stage will be rapid expansion toward the six figures and then slow upward trend. If Bitcoin can break through this block of high volume, the reasoning is straightforward. Structural resistance is minimal above 96K until the psychologically liquidated heavy 100K zone. Yes, and we can see that on the order books as well. I know we didn't spend too much time on there. I don't want to spend too much time in general on this stuff tonight. But yeah, that's of course getting closer to that 95K. Once we do smash through there where every single bear is holding us back, the next big zone, of course, is going to be the 100K zone. Yep, and we can see that very clearly defined there. And if we smash through that over the weekend, there's nothing but downward buying pressure, right? And to the downside. And I definitely would love to see that play out that way this weekend. All right, let's get back to it. What else we got? I think I'm pretty much exhausted that article. Terra Luna Classic soars 100% after viral t-shirt moment in Dubai. So on the Dubai stage, apparently someone was wearing a Terra Luna Classic t-shirt and made Terra Luna Classic soar 100%. I was curious in the beginning of this morning why Terra Luna was moving to the upside. I still have my dust from that project, which I talked to you guys at length about. This is the only coin I've ever lost money on. But yeah, Terra Luna Classic, that's what happened, and that's why this coin moved in any spectacular fashion. It had nothing to do with any sort of fundamental change or anything for Terra Luna. All right. What else we got? JP Morgan maintains its gold-linked target at 170,000 despite the recent drop. This stuff kind of scares me, and they're still very, very, very adamant about it. It scares me because if they want 170K, what's in it for them, right? They want to just get the liquidity out of the market and sell off around that range, basically a little lower. Maybe they'll sell off at 150, dump the entire market. I don't know. To me, it just seems like when it comes to JP Morgan talking about it, I don't know. I'm just starting to feel icky. I'm still starting to feel really icky about it, especially in a positive light from JP Morgan after all these years. Moving on. Santa Rally, right? I told you guys my past. I've been in crypto now for 6 years. In like a month and some change, it'll be 6 years. And why is the Santa Rally set up? I've never personally seen a Santa Rally in crypto. Personally, I've never lived through one. I've never felt it. It never felt real for me, but we'll see how this year goes. This year definitely feels different. It could happen. Why the Santa Claus rally setup leaves Bitcoin one shock away from support retest. And yeah, Bitcoin is now trading near 89K, slipping under 90,000 again. The most large cap tokens are lower on the day, which kept the crypto fear and greed index about around 25. It indicates the anxiety has eased only slightly from last week, while conviction remains thin and easily shaken by routine headlines. The seasonal Santa Claus rally enters the conversation each December because equity desks track a tendency for late month strength. Yet for the digital assets, the calendar effect only matters when liquidity and positioning are prepared to carry bids across seasons rather than fade into the close, which is not the profile this market has shown in recent days. Seasonality needs more than a calendar. If a holiday lift is going to matter for crypto, order book depth and the largest spot pairs need to rebuild into after the United States session on the routine so that headline flurries do not push price through thin ladders. And spreads need to be remain tight during the moderate selling so execution costs do not sap appetite for adding risks in late in the day. Derivatives should confirm the shift. Flows then complete the picture with creations of spot Bitcoin prices, products appearing to steady run instead of one-off prints when the stablecoin issuance turns higher for more than a session or two. All right, that's pretty much their take on what could trigger the December rally. Macro drivers still shape the path to the year end because of the firm dollar and higher yields have repeatedly leaned on risk assets, meaning that the softer rate expectations would remove a headwind, while any renewed hawkish tone would keep bids cautious and push the market makers to carry less inventory through the event windows. Okay, rotation beyond Bitcoin usually follows improved depth into the leader rather than leading it, and the healthier backdrop would show advances broadening from Bitcoin into larger caps only after the order books thicken and funding claims. For desks that watch sentiment, the index near 25 says fear dominates, yet not at extreme levels since you've seen earlier, which can allow short-lived rebounds on quiet days. But a durable turn requires evidence that the arrives together that rather than price meal. Including deeper books through the U.S. Close, steadier funding and basis across the multiple sessions, a visible run for ETF creations, and the rise in stablecoin supply that survives beyond a single headline cycle. All right, if those prices align, then the case for the December lift improves and the seasonal story becomes a tailwind rather than a distraction. While in their absence, the market remains one of the most adverse policy remark liquidity wobble away from another test of support. That was a whole load of nonsense coming from Hang Jungi Feng. Thank you for using AI to generate that terrible article. Which again, I've never personally lived through a Santa rally. And I don't expect to see one this year either. All right, moving on. Bitcoin is shifting to a 2-year cycle, according to ProCap's Bitcoin Jeff Park, revealing how institutional inflows ETFs could shorten Bitcoin's market cycle with major implications heading into 2026. That would be insane to hear, because we're expecting, of course, the next halving in 2028. Could that happen? That would take us into a cycle that would begin on the halving year and not the post-halving year. So, interesting take on this. For more than a decade, Bitcoin investors have relied on, of course, the 4-year cycle, yada, yada. Some argue that the institutional capital is reshaping the markets. Others are highlighting the weakening impact of the halving. The rise of AI and competing investments frontier. Global liquidity trends are no longer lining up with the old patterns. Whatever the cause, one thing is clear, Bitcoin doesn't seem to be moving like it used to. In this exclusive Cointelegraph interview, Jeff Park, partner and chief investment officer, challenges the assumptions behind the 4-year cycle, claiming that Bitcoin may be going to a 2-year cycle. He argues that Bitcoin's market structure has undergone fundamental shifts. Institutional flows operate under different incentives, those of the last retail investors. At the core of Park's argument is provocative ideal is shorter cycles could dramatically shape the investors think about the timing, volatility, and Bitcoin's potential path through 2026. All right. So if you guys, I guess you have to hear his argument, which is touches on what some players with short-term weakness and how liquidity partners intersect with the new cycle and shift could mean for the next move. Watch the complete interview. I guess you have to watch this freaking this video.
The 4-year.
They're gonna make you watch it. So I probably can't skim on that in there. I guess we could go into this closing statement here. Is Bitcoin risk on or risk off or something else? I personally believe it's risk on when it needs to be and risk off when it needs to be. All right.
There's another case to be made where the value of Bitcoin for professional money managers is that it needs to be uncorrelated, like uncorrelated to gold and uncorrelated to equities, because that helps me push out the efficient frontier. And that now is an argument that it's not even about returns. It's actually not even about whether Bitcoin delivers returns or not, but rather the role it serves in reducing the portfolio volatility at the marginal level of pushing out the return of the total portfolio. And so, we haven't really kind of talked about that element, but if Bitcoin can be, flat, but it actually is like uncorrelated with equities and gold at all the right times, that helps investors build a better modern portfolio. That is a positive EV asset to have in your portfolio, even if it generates zero return. And I think there's elements of this too that we're just trying to figure out as there's a whole cohort of new investors coming in and out, and the price pattern can be really erratic. I think that's ultimately the key to understanding the psychology for Bitcoin.
All right, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not getting anything out of you, Ray Park. Jeff Park from ProCap. All right, moving on. How Elon went orange pilled from Doge to Bitcoin. How fiat accidentally orange pilled Elon Musk. If you guys aren't familiar, of course, Elon Musk was in the White House working with Doge. He discovered we cannot make any meaningful cuts realistically to actually save the economy or the American the dollar, right? The American standard. And basically got kicked out. Long story short. He slowly, of course, opposed the Big Beautiful Bill before it was passed. Him and Scott Besson got into fisticuffs, and he was basically given a key to the White House and sent along his way. President Trump and of him, of course, exchanged very, very, very nasty rhetoric back and forth, and he's been, of course, very much so against the the political methods of just printing to get whatever they want here in the United States. And making more pro-Bitcoin comments along the way. So Elon Musk's ambitious goals of tackling excess spending and the inefficiency of the U.S. Federal government have been futile, but might have been the catalyst for this changing tune on Bitcoin. And the Tesla X-Base founder went viral on social media after suggesting that Bitcoin could replace fiat money because of its intrinsic connection to the physical energy. Musk made the comments in conversation with Indian entrepreneur Nikhil Kamath. Energy is the true currency, and that's why I say Bitcoin is based on energy. And of course, that's been Michael Saylor's argument for a very, very, very long time, because there is...
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
Nope. Never is, never will be. All right. So yeah, you can't legislate energy. You can't just pass a law that suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, and especially to harness the energy in a wasteful way to do useful work, Musk said. I think he said this like last month or 2 months ago. Naturally, the viral clip was shared widely by Bitcoin advocates and industry experts. It is one of the most first times that Bitcoin has made, that Musk has made publicly spoken positively about Bitcoin in recent years. He went on to tell Kamath that the society could move away from the prevailing fiat money-based system. We probably won't have money. We'll just have power generation as a de facto currency. And every time we talk about this, I always go back to that movie by Justin Timberlake was featured in it. I always forget the name of the damn movie too. It was based on time and how much time you had left, and it's basically a similar concept, but I mean, yeah, you guys know. Sci-fi, you know my deal. I like my sci-fi. It was called In Time, that movie. So, in time, it could be something similar to this. I actually have a little, shout out to that in the opening. If you guys catch the Cyberpunk intro I have on my stream. All right, anyway, Doge failure pushed Elon back to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's mining advocate Daniel Batten told Cointelegraph's Chain Reaction, showing that Musk's futile efforts to assist Trump in the administration to address excessive government expenditures have inevitably changed his perception on the financial system. And here we are today. That's where basically this comes from. He knows that is not possible to rein in the government spending when you are the axis of infinite money printing. Then you have to have something which decouples money from the ability to infinitely print money. Batten added that Musk's background in physics suggests that he now is realizing that energy-backed monetary protocols are fundamentally resistant to inflation. Yes, because of the background in physics, he's clearly gone well. Energy, that's not something that you can print into existence. Bitcoin mining's perception is finally changing. Batten also weighed into the changing perception toward the environmental impact on Bitcoin in recent years. Again, going back to Elon Musk, I mean, his original statements back in 2022, I think it was after the last bull market, him saying, "Oh, we'll accept Bitcoin for purchases in Tesla products once it's like at least 50% energy renewable or effective or whatever." Yeah, whatever. And we still never did it. Okay, so these reports and the overarching narrative have largely been debunked thanks to several academic papers and research reports, including Cambridge's 2024 Digital Mining Industry Report. Batten said the European policymakers have been particularly influenced by years of erroneous reports of Bitcoin's environmental impacts. They created policies based on factually incorrect sound bites that Bitcoin uses a lot of energy per transaction, which it doesn't, of course, doesn't. Batten clarified that the Bitcoin energy usage comes directly from mining, not through individual transactions, which he describes as critically important to understand because the network can theoretically process thousands more transactions without needing to expend more energy. All right, I'm just kind of jumping around the article here. But yeah, for the most part, this is where we are today with Elon Musk's current rhetoric on Bitcoin, which I still think is it's good. He's finally starting to see the orange light. But man, it's getting kind of late. It's getting kind of late, especially him getting kicked out of the White House and everything this year. All right, moving on, guys. JP Morgan Chase, if you haven't heard already. Yeah. Jeez. It calls for the S&P 500 to rally into 2026. And of course, Bitcoin 170K. We already covered all that. All right. I think I'm already caught up, guys. You guys ready? Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for the main event. Let's get to it. Before I do, let's dive into the chat real quick. Catch up with you guys. And yeah, we'll get into it. Get on with it. Get on with it. All right. Let me close the rest of this stuff and get everything set for this. Okay. Where are we in the chat? Andra, welcome back. Yes. Welcome back to my therapy time, says Cliff. The ATM experience gave me chills when reading. Oh, geez. What else we got here? Andra says cash is untraceable until you get blood on it. True. Also, it's losing value every single day, guys. If you can divide it, of course, every single month you're losing about 1% of its value. All right, what are we looking at here? So just catching up the poll. Now you guys are finally starting to see the light, the orange light of Bitcoin, sitting at 45% of you guys saying, what's the best savings vehicle? 45% Bitcoin, with gold and dollars tied at 20%. What? Come on, guys. You gotta do better than that.
I'd buy that for $1.
What? That's crazy. Yeah, of course, gold and lottery tickets coming in at an astounding 15% of the votes. I still can't believe you guys are saying that dollars are a great investment vehicle. Any significant portion of you guys watching, of course, the show for a long enough time, you should know better. Come on. That's the silly stuff we burn. They crumble up and tear to pieces here on the channel. All right, cash is local. Cash is creepy, especially with all those DNA all over it. I pulled one out of the ATM one time and there's blood all over the keys. Oh, Andra, where the hell do you live? Mississippi? Holy hell. I was not touching that shit. I left it there. Yeah, it sounds like you left it there. I made that call that day, not touching it. Okay, you probably touched that one, but never again. Okay, what else we got here? Most people just use credit cards these days anyway. It's the same thing. It's still fiat, guys. It's still losing 10% of your purchasing power minimum a year. Okay, what else we looking at? My Spotify said my listening age is 17 years old. I may be a dumbass, guys. Says Los. Oh no. What else we got before we jump into the main event, guys? Ben Lawrence says, as long as it's not wheels on the bus, you are okay, Los. It's anytime. Cliff. Oh, wow. Okay, what else we got here? Scrubulous his. When now? Guys, you know when now. When's right now, actually. But yeah, soon.
Soon.
Jesus, guys, soon. Next year, hopefully. ATM isn't safe. Yes, Ben. The only other ATM, Ben Lawrence, what? Cliff, what? Use soap, says Los. Save all your money in soap. What the hell? Oh, God. Otaku, AI thread. It feels like one, didn't it? Didn't that one article feel like AI? Andra says, guess I got lucky with that day. I guess so. Cliff says, oh, yeah, an Elon Doge on premise. Presidential unpaid technical support ending. What the hell, Cliff? Was it Traxy Sumboth? It got deleted. Thanks again. Danny! Super Danny got that one. Nice one there, Super Danny. Boom! Get the robots out of here. Alright. Ben Lawrence says, Talking, did you close the garage? And Dad doesn't want to remind you. Oh my God. Really? Really?
What are you, stupid?
Yes, I closed the garage, man. I closed. Oh my God, it's so weird. You know me like that. Okay, yes, Danny, Ninja Speed. I did, man. I did. Guys, we just got through majority of what I normally go through in record time. In less than a half hour or so, I went through all of the news and the metrics. Guys, we're gonna get to the main event right now. Let's do it. CZ versus Peter Schiff on the stage at Dubai 2025 just happened last night, and we got the video live today. Let's do it. Boom. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Well, pretty proud.
Well, it's a small room.
It's a small room, but I think there's a lot of people upstairs as well. Well, first of all, Peter, thank you so much for coming. I feel like I'm kind of a host here.
Wow.
So I want to keep it a bit civilized at the beginning. We'll see how, how it evolves. So first of all, I want to thank you for taking your time to come over here. And I think it's very courageous of you to step on this stage in this crowd. It feels like there's definitely a home court advantage for me here.
Yeah, well, I got some supporters in the crowd, but
Absolutely.
even if they disagree with me on Bitcoin, they agree with me on a lot of other things. But I definitely appreciate and thank you for hosting this event and bringing me out here. And at least you had the courage. I mean, I've been, trying to get Michael Saylor to debate me for years, and he's afraid. But
No.
Oh, come on. No, he'd do it any day. Come on.
Later tonight.
Try. Is he still in town?
He is.
Oh,
He is
right.
in town. Yeah. So yeah, I want to give you a little bit of opportunity first. I know you're doing a eventually you will do a tokenized gold, like a project, right?
Yeah, that's how this whole thing got started, because I was talking about that on a crypto podcast that I guess you happen to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have, my website is tgold.com.
Yeah.
So the T actually is for tokenized gold.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised Tether never grabbed that URL, but anyway, I took it. So it's tgold.com. And right now, if you go to tgold.com, you can buy physical gold and silver.
Yeah.
And we store it for you.
Yeah.
And ultimately, people who own gold and silver in this form, and it's segregated and vaulted. It's not commingled. It's not, it's allocated gold, not unallocated gold. So you own it. It's stored, in a vault. But ultimately, there'll be two ways that you can withdraw your gold. Other than sell it, you can sell it and just get dollars. But one way is to withdraw in physical form. Mm-hmm. You can take delivery of bars or coins in whatever denomination that you want, or you can also take delivery in the form of a token.
Yep.
And so when you take delivery of the token, and now you can deposit it in your wallet or put it on an exchange to the extent that we get it listed on an exchange, but you can withdraw the token, right? And what the token represents is ownership of gold.
Yep.
You own the gold, it's in a vault, but the token is the evidence that you own it. Like if you check, your coat, and they give you a claim check. The claim check isn't a coat, but it's redeemable in a coat.
Sure.
And so the tokenized gold now is your ownership of gold. But if you want, you can transfer that token or any portion of it because it's divisible. You can transfer part of that to somebody else. And now that other person owns the gold. And so you transfer the ownership of the gold rather than the physical gold. The gold sits in a vault, but the ownership can change hands. And now you can use your token as a medium of exchange. And so now you have a viable monetary unit that is a store of value because it's backed by the gold that's in the vault that anybody can take delivery of. But in the meantime, you've taken gold and you've now made it more transportable, more divisible, more fungible. You've improved on all of its monetary properties, but you don't lose the most important property, which is it's a store of value, because its value is the gold that the token represents.
Do I know where it is?
So what I'm hearing you saying is actually the tokenized gold is actually almost better than the gold itself. In the ways that it's divisible, it's transferable, it's transportable, it's a medium of exchange. etc. Right?
Yeah, as for money purposes, yes. Obviously, if you want to actually do something with the gold, if you're a jeweler, you can't. You have to take the token and redeem it. Right? If you're manufacturing computer chips and you need gold, you have to redeem the token. But as far as using it as money, yes, it improves on gold. Just like the old blacksmiths, right? Originally, when people had gold and they would have it stored with the blacksmith would write out an IOU, a piece of paper, which could then circulate in place of gold because it was more convenient. And that was currency. And when governments started currencies, they were legitimate because they were backed by gold. So instead of engaging in commerce with the gold, we used paper currency. But that currency derived its value from the gold that backed it up. Now, fiat currency is paper currency backed by nothing. And so there's nothing that gives it value other than faith and confidence. So tokenized gold takes that to the digital level, where instead of having a paper representation of ownership, I have a digital representation, and I don't have to be in the same room to hand you a piece of paper. I can transfer it. But what Bitcoin is like the fiat currency because it's backed by nothing, right? Whereas a tokenized gold is legitimate because it's backed by something. It derives its value from gold. Bitcoin derives its value from confidence, from faith. If people think it has value, then they're willing to buy it.
We can get to Bitcoin in a second. But I just want to, I think we actually agree on this point that the digitized gold might be actually better than gold in a lot of ways. Because the tokenized, the version on the blockchain is transferable, it's divisible, it's more useful, right? As long as the gold is there to back it up.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay,
and so it improves on gold. It makes gold better. Just like paper made it better, except once the government came in and corrupted it, right, then that was a problem. But it wasn't a problem for gold. It was just a problem with government. But the gold that's issued through a token, you don't need a government. You don't need any private, entity that has a good reputation and is trustworthy can tokenize gold. It doesn't need to be a government that does it. And now people could use that as money. And even if there's a lot of different tokens, they're all fungible because gold is gold.
Let's talk about gold for a little bit. I have a magic box if we can get that up the stage. Yeah, Tintin, come over. Today is actually the first time meeting Tintin. Tintin is actually a KOL for Aster. Yeah, please. Yeah. Thank you, Tintin. It's pretty heavy. So I have a nice box here.
What is that?
It has some, I think it's Kyrgyz language. I took it back from Kyrgyzstan. He has a certificate. I got this from a very important person from Kyrgyzstan. Very recently, just completely by luck. So we take it out. It's pretty heavy. I'll put this down. You can see, like it says, Kyrgyzstan, 1,000 grams, fine gold, 99.9.9, and a serial number. Try it.
Yes. Yeah, it's heavy.
Is it real gold or no?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is this what you're trying to? I mean, let's see how it looks. Well,
yes, that's the whole point.
Is a little, this is pure gold. My bracelet is pure gold, so the color looks a little off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, probably, maybe it's not real gold.
It's given to me by a really important person.
Well, I know, but this is not a mint that I would recognize. I mean, the thing about mints is if you know the name of the company that minted it and you trust them because they have a reputation in the market that they want to protect. But this, I mean, I've never heard of any of this, so I would have to probably assay it to know if this was real gold. But the color looks a little off compared to my bracelet, because this,
It might be your bracelet that's a little bit off. I don't know. So
it depends. Are you giving it to me?
I see.
Is it a gift?
This is the thing. I wouldn't.
Because if it's a gift, then I know it's. If you're not going to give it to me, it's probably real gold. If it's a gift, then maybe it's.
How much is this worth? Like one kg of gold right now?
Well, gold's about $4,200 an ounce.
So
that would probably be $50,000. I don't know. Do the math, but I mean, it seems like a lot of gold. If it was real.
AI told me it's like 130,000-ish. Yeah, 130K-ish. Is
What?
that right or not wrong?
No, gold. Well, gold is, as I said, it's about $4,200 an ounce,
Okay.
and that's what is that?
It's 1 kg, so I don't know.
A kilogram? How many ounces in a kilogram? 32?
132?
Huh?
What?
30?
132K? All right. See,
So
I would want to give you, I don't, so it's 130, I don't want to give the whole piece. I can give a little bit, but I can't, like, you know.
well, that's why you tokenize it. Then you can give me half of it.
Right, so blockchain.
But they also make, we sell at my company Shift Gold.
Yeah.
We sell 10th ounce gold coins.
Right,
So,
right.
You can have small denomination, and we sell them by reputable mints, so
Yeah.
you know that they're real. You don't have to guess. You don't have to try to assay it. You look at the coin,
Yeah.
and you can tell if it's been monkeyed with.
Yeah.
But
See, I want to give it to you, but I don't know if you can take it out of the country.
I'm sure
Right?
I can just
like,
put it.
how many days are you staying?
You know what? No one's. I can put that in my bag. No one's gonna
He's
care.
making so many
You
great
sure?
points
Yeah.
This country
in this
can-
conversation.
Some countries will put you in jail.
for carrying that.
Yeah, for
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Or not, etc. Where you got it?
Huh?
Who you got it from?
More than
If I tell
$10,000
them
worth
I
or
got it
more
from
or
you,
less.
But you'd probably be even bigger trouble. But but it is real gold. It is given to me by the president of Kyrgyzstan. So I have not. I
Well,
have
you
no way to
probably have
verify
some
it.
sentimental value now, so you don't want to give it to me.
Well, especially after this, you'll have some sentimental value. But we'll see. So, but the point is though, if I give you Bitcoin right now, right? We can verify instantly you got Bitcoin in a number of ways.
Yeah, I understand
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right, and also even with a tokenized gold, right? So if you send it to someone, you can verify it almost immediately. Right,
Yeah,
with
the same
tokenization.
same with tokenized gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now I want to address your question about gold, Bitcoin, not based on anything. Do you use the iPhone or I saw you use
I have an iPhone. Yeah, right here.
You don't
yeah.
use Android, right?
No, I have an iPhone.
And you use the internet, obviously. So you use X, Google, Facebook, etc. Google is virtual, right?
Excuse me?
The internet is virtual. The internet has like nothing physical.
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
So when you use X is completely virtual. There's nothing physical about it. But X is worth a lot of money, right? It has value. It's a utility tool, right? So internet has value, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's no disputing that.
So Bitcoin itself actually doesn't exist. I don't know if everybody in the audience knows about this or not. There's no Bitcoin on the blockchain, physically or virtually. All there is records of transactions on the blockchain.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So when people say, I send you 1 Bitcoin, they are not sending 1 Bitcoin. They just want another transaction on the ledger said, I send you 1
Right. Nothing actually moves.
Nothing
right?
actually
There's
moves.
nothing that actually goes anywhere. I get that.
And the way we calculate, the way we figure out this address has 1 Bitcoin is actually we go through all the transactions on the blockchain. We look at all the inputs and all the receiving and all the sending out. And then if there's a difference positive, then this address has 1 blockchain, 1 Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin actually doesn't exist anywhere. But it doesn't mean that because it's virtual, it has no value, right? So Google has a lot of value, Twitter has a lot of value, and when there's many virtual things that has value. So a item's value is not associated with its physical properties. Even with gold, right? The industrial, like the computer chips, which use gold. The value of gold is much less than the value of the gold we give because it's a rare commodity, precious metal, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, just because something is intangible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are tangible assets, there's intangible assets. I'm not saying that something has to be tangible to have value. I mean, all companies, I mean, your company probably has goodwill that, that has value, but it's not something you can touch or feel. It's an intangible asset. And what makes Bitcoin worthless, as far as I'm concerned, is not the fact that I can't touch it or taste it or smell it. I guess
Those have been your past
that things
arguments.
Can be intangible and have value. It's that you can't do anything with it. It doesn't have a utility beyond the fact that yes, I can transfer it to you and you can transfer it to somebody else, and the whole methodology, the way it works, yes, it's very smart. The way the whole system is set up, I understand that. But at the end of the day, when I transfer my Bitcoin to you, I've transferred nothing. I have nothing. I give you nothing, right? When I transfer tokenized gold to you, I've transferred gold. I've transferred the ownership of the gold. And what gives the gold the value is what you do with it as a metal. Gold has properties that other metals don't have, that other elements don't have, and it's needed. There are, industries that need gold. They must buy gold. They can't substitute copper or another metal. There are things that only gold can do, and companies need gold. Now, because gold is scarce, there's not just an abundant supply of gold. Because it's very valuable, but there's not a lot of it, then it's going to have a high price just by supply and demand. But even if people say, well, the real price, it's not, the investment price is $4,000 an ounce, but maybe it's, it's only worth some lesser amount. I don't know. But the reason for the price, right? Price is always going to be determined by supply and demand. One of the functions that gold serves for central banks is it backs up their currency. It's a monetary reserve asset, and that's also a use for gold, and that helps determine the price of gold because you have central banks that need it, and they have to bid into the market to obtain it. But because gold doesn't decay, right, it doesn't lose any value over time. When I own gold, I don't just own what I can do with it today, but I own what somebody else can do with it in 1,000 years, in 10,000 years, because gold doesn't go away. I mean, the gold that was mined 10,000 years ago, it's still here. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere, and it's no different than it was in the past. And so gold's price today represents the present value of all of the uses from now until the end of time.
Sure.
You don't have that with other commodities that have a shelf life, that decay, they rot,
Okay.
right? Gold is unique in the fact that it never goes anywhere. And that's what makes it a store of value too, because when I own gold, I am storing the use of that gold from now until the end of time. Even if I don't use it myself, if I just hold on to it, somebody somewhere in the future is going to use that gold. But there are people that also need to use it today in the present.
So you said a lot of things there. There's actually a lot of things that are very interesting, and we're so close to get you over.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
So first of all, on the gold, right? You said that the gold is always there. How much gold is there in the world?
Well, I don't have to know exactly, but I know it's pretty scarce, and the supply grows relatively slowly.
We don't know, right? We don't know.
Well, no, I don't know how much is in the Earth's crust.
Right. So tomorrow we can find another. No, China can find another big mine. And
they just did 116 million tons.
And, now there's synthetic diamonds. Later on, we may be advanced enough in chemistry to be able to. That's a holy grail. Everyone wants synthetic gold. But
well,
we
can. For centuries trying to figure out how to make gold. And in fact, there was an article recently that somebody figured out how to make a speck of gold.
I don't think that was true, though.
Yes, but it's coming, more coming soon.
How much they are. All the things you said about gold, like till infinity, we know how much gold there. We know how much Bitcoin there will be, and we know exactly where they are, right? So it's definitely a finite supply. You also mentioned very, very interestingly on gold. Still, I'll get to Bitcoin in a second. That the central banks use gold to back their currency, which we all know that stopped in 1971, right? So now, as you said, the currency is not really backed by anything. So gold is no longer used in that capacity.
Well, it's not used. The currencies are not redeemable in gold.
Yeah.
But if you have currency, and if your currency starts losing value in the market, and you need to defend it, you need to prop it up, you need something to sell to buy back your own currency. And so central banks can use gold to do that, to secure the value of their currency in the market. You can sell your gold and buy back your currency and keep it propped up. So that's why the central banks need a reserve asset.
So recently, when the when the gold price goes up, that means a lot of central banks are probably printing currency to buy gold themselves, right?
Well, I mean, central banks are printing money all the time. That's where inflation comes from.
So you mentioned earlier on the utility value. So you recognize that Bitcoin is not anything virtual. It doesn't have to be tangible to have value, right? So and gold's
right. It has to have a use. It has to do something.
No, but the gold's utility in commercial use is not where the value is from. Gold's value derives from is a rare commodity, right? And Bitcoin has a lot of utility. Bitcoin is not just for sending and receiving. Bitcoin is an entire industry. Is a new technology for money.
But no, it's not a new technology for money because it's not being used as money, and it's not really money because it's not a commodity. It's not, money by definition is going to be the most liquid commodity, and Bitcoin doesn't really qualify, even though the government might classify it as a commodity.
So
and the banks.
Definitions for levels. There's a label for money, and there's a label for value, right? Bitcoin is a $3 trillion asset. And it's still growing. Right?
Well, so Bitcoin has a price. I mean, there's no arguing that it has a price, but it has a price because people want to buy it, and because a lot of people who own it don't want to sell it because they think the price is going to keep going up. So, but that doesn't mean that it has any underlying value just because it has a price, just because people are willing to speculate in it. But that's what Bitcoin is being used as. It's not being used as money. It's being used as a speculative digital asset. I mean, to me, people collect Bitcoin,
so I think
and they collect Bitcoin because they think the collection is going to be more valuable in the future.
So I think you have a very narrow definition of money, which is what you believe and what governments believe, right? So for example, if we ask the audience here, how many people believe Bitcoin is money? Well, let's see, right? So, but this is an unfair crowd.
Right, but
this is an unfair crowd. But the point is, though, many people do recognize Bitcoin as money. Whether we call it money, how you define it, we can debate about that, the definitions of it.
Well, nothing is priced in Bitcoin, so it's not a unit of account. When
pricing is relative, though. Like, we can reverse calculate. Like the price of U.S. dollars in Bitcoin is 0.00.
No, but that's like an exchange rate. But I'm talking about merchandise. People that are selling goods and services, which would include, labor. Nobody quotes wages or prices in a fixed quantity of Bitcoin, right? You're not going to, it doesn't happen anywhere. To the extent that even somebody was to get paid in Bitcoin, they would have a salary in dollars or in euros, and then when it came time to get paid, they would try to figure out how many Bitcoin they need to equal that number of dollars or number of euros. It's not a unit of account like money, and it's not being used as a medium of exchange. But people, most of the Bitcoin, it's like traded on Binance, and people gamble with it. They buy it and they sell it. They day trade it or they hodl it, but they're not using it. I mean, as a medium of exchange. It's not a unit of account, and it can't be a store of value because you can't store what you don't have.
Just because some things prices fluctuating doesn't mean you couldn't get paid for it. I got paid in salary in Bitcoin in 2014. So 11 years.
What was your salary?
Was like, I don't know, wasn't that high. It was like 100K-ish at that time.
No, you said it was in Bitcoin. Was your salary a quantity of Bitcoin?
Well, as you said, we'll rebase every month, right?
But that's not the same thing. If it was money, somebody would have to say, my salary is 1/10 of a Bitcoin, a month, and that's all I get. I get that Bitcoin, whether it's up or down. That's my salary. It's fixed in Bitcoin.
I could actually show you a number of contracts that Binance has. We do it in Bitcoin, right? So, for example, one of the early investors or business partners that want to exit, we said, look, we're gonna give you this much money. You can take in U.S. dollars or you can take in Bitcoin. And we fixed the Bitcoin at that time, and we hold that.
Oh, you fixed the price.
We fixed it in Bitcoin, and that person got a lot more Bitcoins over time. The same number of Bitcoins, but Bitcoin's value went up.
Right. But that's a unique situation where you have somebody who wants Bitcoin as a Bitcoin investor, and they want to get. So they're just.
It's a small number, but people do transact in Bitcoin as a unit. It happens.
Well, that's the exception, not the rule. The vast majority. Yeah. I mean, almost all of the Bitcoin transactions are not to buy goods and services. They are people buying and selling Bitcoin to each other without any work being done, without any goods being purchased, right? It's just trading. That's all that's happening.
It's not necessarily true, right? So the stock. So I think we're getting off topic a little bit. I'm not arguing whether Bitcoin is money or not. We're really.
You just said it was money.
Then we will be arguing about the definition of money, how we define that level. But the more important part is whether Bitcoin is valuable, right? So I think whether it has value. And that's the core definition. Well, that's the core debate. Whereas I think many people in this room obviously recognize Bitcoin has value. Bitcoin has, and the Bitcoin value, part of it is come from speculation on Binance, on other exchange, but a large part of it comes from the utility value of it. The fact that I can use it, I can transport it. I move to different countries all the time, right? So with this piece of gold, it's not easy for me to take it across different countries. Whereas it's a good store of
Finally
value,
getting back to
which
that.
is true.
Happy to hear it.
But Bitcoin has risen in value, not just a store of value. It has actually gone up in value over the last 15 years.
Well, first of all, tokenized gold solves that problem because you can take the tokenized gold with you. But
the tokenized gold, I have to trust a third party.
All right, well, just find a trusted third party. I mean,
which I could, but Bitcoin, I don't have to do that. That's utility.
Well, but then you have to trust something more. You have to trust that.
I trust the technology.
People still want Bitcoin. Yes, you
trust the largest
there's a
network on the planet.
There's 21 million Bitcoin.
It's very easy to trust.
Which is yeah. All right. So there's 2.1 quadrillion satoshis, right? They're not that scarce when you express it that way. But there's a lot of satoshis out there. But yes, there is some maximum quantity of satoshis that are out there. But none of it matters if people don't want them. Look at the last few years, because Bitcoin today is 40%.
How many years have you been saying this, though?
Well, for a long time, right? But look, Bitcoin today is 40% lower priced in gold than it was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So over the past 4 years, since Bitcoin peaked,
is that true?
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's true.
Yeah, when Bitcoin was 69,000 4 years ago, it bought 37.2 ounces of gold. Today, and I just checked before, it buys 22.15 ounces. So Bitcoin buys 40% fewer ounces of gold today than it did 4 years ago.
Gold did better than Bitcoin in the last 4 years.
4 years, a lot better.
How about 8 years?
No, but here, let me finish the point that I'm making. Right, over the last 4 years, think about what's happened in Bitcoin. First of all, we had all of the Bitcoin ETFs that got launched that didn't exist to buy Bitcoin. We got all these companies, copycat from Strategy, but we also have Strategy that borrowed $40 billion to buy Bitcoin, or issued stock and debt to buy $40 billion. But we had other crypto companies buying Bitcoin. We had ads at the Super Bowl, we had celebrity endorsements, we had the NFT craze, we had El Salvador, we had the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. We've had all of this money and hype and promotion, unprecedented. That's all anybody talks about. You go on financial news stations, every guest is talking about Bitcoin. Every commercial is Bitcoin or crypto. They're the biggest advertisers. They're the biggest donators to political campaigns.
So you're only talking about one failed exchange.
Right, but the price has gone down during all of this, with all of this promotion, all of this hype. It's gone down. And if Bitcoin has not been able to go up in 4 years, if it's lost 40% of its value in real terms, despite all of this, why would it go up in the future? It seems to me
Bitcoin
that
4 years ago
it's
much
over.
lower value, though.
Huh?
Much
4 years
lower.
ago was much lower value, just because.
No, it's down. It's down 40% in gold.
Comparing to gold.
But if you're saying it's digital gold, then that's the best way to price it.
Well, no. If you compare two assets, you can pick any random time period. One asset.
Well, I'm not random. I'm just picking the high from 4 years ago. But my point is, you had all of this hype. Why is
still higher than it was 4 years ago?
Michael Saylor is coming out here. Bitcoin's going to be $10 million of Bitcoin. All right. Well, why isn't it there now? Why? I mean, if it's really that valuable, the market would adjust the price now. You can't just buy it. I mean, he acts like you just buy Bitcoin and you're guaranteed to make all this money. It's a sure thing. Go out, mortgage your house, bet the farm, borrow against your business, put everything you have, because he says it's a sure thing. Well, if it was a sure thing, the price would already be there.
Well, the price takes time to be there. Like, even if you say like gold will be worth more later, doesn't mean that it will be worth.
No, I just think the dollar will be worth less. The euro will be worth less. At the end, they keep printing them.
We agree on all of that.
Right,
yeah.
but it does. But Bitcoin is irrelevant for that. Bitcoin's value is determined solely by the number of people who want to buy it versus the people who want to sell it, because there's no user for it. Like like with gold, there is real demand. There are people who need to buy gold and will always buy gold. And if the price of gold goes down, they're going to buy more. if it goes. But in Bitcoin, nobody needs it, but people want it. But they want it because they think the price is going to go up. But the minute they stop believing the price is going to go up, then there's no reason to have it.
Let's talk about the future a little bit more. The future generation, the younger kids.
Yes.
Do you think they will like Bitcoin more or gold more?
Well, they're going to like gold more because their friends will have lost a lot of money in Bitcoin. And there's one really good thing about young people.
How about your son?
But he's already sold his. But the good thing about losing a lot of money in Bitcoin when you're young, and is that when you're young and you lose your money, you have a whole lifetime to earn it back, and you have a lifetime to benefit from the experience of losing that money. So the good news for all the young people that are going to get wiped out in Bitcoin is that it will prevent you from losing more money in the future, right? Because when you're young, you don't have a lot of money to lose. But as you get older and you accumulate more, that's when it's more important not to lose your money. So this is a valuable lesson.
So Bitcoin went from no value in 2010 to 50 cents for the first Pizza transaction to now 100,000, well, 90,000 right now.
Yeah.
How many people lost money on Bitcoin? How many people made money on Bitcoin?
Well, how many of the people who have their hands up have actually sold their Bitcoin and realized those gains?
A few.
Not that many. But look,
again, this is a different crowd, right? Obviously. Yeah,
but there's no disputing that the people who bought Bitcoin back then have made a tremendous amount of money. I mean, I know a lot of these people who have made hundreds of millions, billions.
So you know them?
Yes, a lot of them are my neighbors, but the reason they can afford to live in my neighborhood is because they sold a lot of Bitcoin. That's how come they can afford it. But the money that they made.
A lot of people made a lot of money on Bitcoin that you know.
Yes, they got in early.
Okay.
The people who bought it over the last couple of years haven't made any money. These are the people who are losing the money that enabled the early buyers to make money.
What?
The people who are making money are cashing out. All Bitcoin does is enable a transfer of wealth from the people who buy Bitcoin to the people who sell it, right? When Bitcoin is created, there's no real wealth. We have like 20 million Bitcoin now that we didn't have 15 years ago. We're no better off because those Bitcoin exist. They don't actually do anything. But what has happened is some people have been enriched at the expense of other people. Now, the people who have lost a lot of money in Bitcoin don't even realize they've lost it yet because they still have the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin still has a $93,000 price or whatever it is right now. And so they don't realize they've lost the money. But if they try to get out, that's when they're going to realize it's lost. Because if a large percentage of people who own Bitcoin want to get out of it, there is no market for it. The market will implode.
Let me share.
It was like 45 grand last year. Remember?
Quick story I
We're already double it. Whatever. He's an idiot.
When I was going through the U.S. troubles, I got a letter of support, right? So one of our users from Africa writes me, and he says, before Bitcoin, it takes him 3 days to pay a bill. He had to walk from his village to a place, pay it, and walk back. So 3 days a month, he had to pay the bill. That's the amount of time it takes for him to do that. After Binance, he has access to crypto. And now paying the bill is 3 minutes. And because of that, he accumulated over time $50, $100, $300, $1,000. $1,000 in some really poor country in Africa is a lot of money for that. Yeah. So that improves people's life.
Yes.
Materially improved his life.
Yeah,
so
I mean there is some value there, but you don't need Bitcoin for that. You can use a stable coin. You can use tokenized gold.
You can do any, So yeah, you can use a stable coin, but you still need to use the blockchain technology. And the best use case for blockchain technology today, the best app is still Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is the largest market cap coin. And but you're talking about the blockchain technology. The technology is promoted with Bitcoin plus other cryptocurrencies. You mentioned a point earlier, which I want to touch upon. Just because anyone can issue a token doesn't mean those tokens have value. But Bitcoin is very different. Bitcoin we already have a large community supporting it. Some of the major cryptocurrencies, of course, I'm biased, are also closer to that category, right? So just because you issue something does not create value. But when people use it, it has value.
Well, again,
so Bitcoin is used by this guy in Africa, in many other places. So and the use case is increasing, it's not decreasing. This is not. It's not just one thing that doesn't change anymore. Yeah. It's the technology that keeps evolving.
I don't see. In fact, I remember when Bitcoin first spiked up to $1,000 in was it 20?
And you were against it.
Of course, yes. But, although at the time, at the time I thought the price could go up. I just thought that it was obviously people were buying it, and I thought that the bubble could get bigger before it popped. But fundamentally, nothing has changed about Bitcoin. But the point I'm making is back then, I remember a lot of stores. There were a lot of stories where all these companies were coming out, oh, we accept Bitcoin, we accept Bitcoin, we accept Bitcoin. And the reason that the stores were doing this is because all of a sudden people with Bitcoin had money, because now the Bitcoin was worth something. And so merchants were trying to appeal to the wealth of the crypto people by saying, hey, you can spend your Bitcoin here, you can spend your Bitcoin here. There's actually less of that now. I mean, I think the whole idea of using Bitcoin as a currency, it's even less popular now than it was back then. And in fact, people have even acknowledged that, it doesn't work very well as a currency. There are other cryptos that are much better. That's when they reinvented it as digital gold, because it didn't work as a digital currency. So they said, okay, well, it's digital gold. Oh. Well, it's not digital gold either, because it's nothing like gold, right? It's not.
You're off the rails there.
I can't, make a picture of a hamburger and then say I have digital food. It's just an image of a hamburger. And if you eat a diet of digital food, you're going to starve to death.
Let me check in the crowd. Who has a Binance card on them? I don't have one with me. Can you volunteer? Just the
Binance
card.
Have a token, right? BNB is a token.
No, the Binance card.
Binance is a token
which is
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to show the Binance card.
Can somebody help bring that? So when you mentioned that crypto is not used for payments, and you see it much less, I actually want to show you something, which is thank you. Sure, yeah. You see, you see this thing?
Okay, yeah. Well, basically what you're saying is you can use this, and it will sell your Bitcoin and pay a merchant in dollars.
Absolutely. It works really well. Yeah. And
that's exactly what I'm going to do with gold, right? But
using the blockchain, right?
It doesn't even need to use the blockchain when I'm using a debit card or a debit card. But what you're doing is you're selling your Bitcoin and then you're paying with currency. Just like I have a brokerage account.
With so many extra steps.
And I can issue you a debit card against your brokerage account, and now you could use that. But you're not using Bitcoin as money. You're selling Bitcoin to get money, and then you're using the money to buy goods and services, not the Bitcoin. That card just ties you in. But what I want to do with gold, I don't want people ultimately to sell their gold and pay cash. I'd like to see the gold actually change hands from buyer to seller so that the entire transaction stays in gold the whole time. We don't need to convert the gold into fiat. But you're converting your Bitcoin to fiat in order to use it.
How many people use gold as payment today?
No, probably hardly anybody uses it as payment.
More or less than this.
But you're not using Bitcoin there either.
Yes,
the Bitcoin gets sold. If you use that card, whoever is on the receiving end of the transaction does not get any of your Bitcoin. All they get is dollars.
Yeah. So it's actually two halves. So we're breaking this process into two halves, right? So Bitcoin payments, crypto payments has historically had this problem where the merchants don't want to accept crypto or may or may not want to accept it. Without the merchants accepting it, then the users couldn't pay. But this solves it because we are now, as intermediaries, from the user perspective, he just swiped his card and crypto gets deducted. He doesn't care about the conversion into cryptocurrencies and pay it. The merchant gets fiat currencies, right, or whatever they choose to get. And we, in the middle, handle the conversion. So we solve both sides of the problem.
Yeah, but I want to do that same thing with gold. But the thing is this. I think eventually, when inflation is a lot more pernicious in the developed world, I believe a lot of merchants will actually prefer to receive gold. Because I think
Are you sure about that?
Yes, because what's going to happen is
How many of them accept it today?
They don't have the ability to accept it. They don't even. It's not even an option. But let's say you're a merchant, right? And inflation is not 2% a year. It's two. Let me finish the point.
I get the benefit.
Let's say inflation is 2% a week, right? And so I have inventory that I'm selling, but I sell my inventory. And now when I have to rebuy it, it costs a lot more because between the time I sold it and the time I restock, the prices have gone up. But if I can sell my merchandise and get paid in gold, now I can use my gold to restock and the prices wouldn't have gone up in terms of gold.
The gold price dropped in the last couple of weeks, right? I mean, it went to a high, but then it dropped in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, there are periods of time where gold volatility spikes a bit. But generally, it's not that volatile.
At 10% for some merchants, like some merchants' margins at 10%. Right?
Oh yeah, I know. And Bitcoin can move 10% in a day.
But my point is, there's a few million of these cards out there. There's a few million users using Binance Card.
Yeah, and maybe I could use you to do my gold cards.
We'd be happy to.
Because I'm talking to banks, I got to see who would be the best issuer of the card.
For Bitcoin, I'm not against gold. But I'm just saying that Bitcoin is a better version of gold. But my point is, you said that people don't use it for payments, but people use it silently.
Right, but that's not using it for payments.
But from the user perspective, they are using it for payments. Now the user doesn't have to worry about selling Bitcoin into cash, converting the currency, and then charging that.
Right, but I can do that same thing again with gold or anything else. I can do it with my stock portfolio. I mean, I have customers that have brokerage accounts, and I can give them a debit card where every time they use it, it margins their brokerage account.
But that's great.
And then we can sell some of their stocks.
That's great. But my point is, people are already using crypto for payments.
No, they're not using crypto. They're using crypto as collateral so that they can sell it to get the currency that they use to make the payment. There's a difference there. It's not being used to make a payment. You're liquidating your Bitcoin and then you're buying something with the proceeds.
Again, Peter, you're making the definition that for the user for payments, that includes the part that we handle for them.
Yes.
Right? From the user perspective, he swipes the card, he gets the good.
I understand.
Gets deducted,
yes.
Right. Right. So,
but there is a difference there. But of course, Bitcoin can collapse in price, and now it's going to be a big problem for people who are planning on buying stuff with their Bitcoin, and now the Bitcoin doesn't buy very much because when they go to sell it, they're not going to get that much fiat.
I think most people in this room will not have that problem because they pretty much all have enough crypto they have enough crypto.
Well, they have enough at $93,000. I mean, what if it's $9,000? I mean, the price could be a lot lower. You don't know what it's going to be.
I mean, all prices fluctuate. Also, even if we talk about fiat currencies, the price fluctuates. Right. So
against each other. Right. They don't. There's
against each other, against real purchasing power. Yeah. Right. So against purchasing power, every price fluctuates. So one thing is, many people think about stable. I think stablecoin is a complete misnomer. There's nothing stable in this world. Everything fluctuates against it.
Well, it's stable against itself. So a dollar stable coin is stable against the dollar. But the dollar has no stability whatsoever.
Yeah. So
but that's why to me, everything that you can do with Bitcoin, I can do with gold. And so rather than have a token backed by nothing, why not have a token backed by something? Why prefer a fiat cryptocurrency when you can have a real one, when you can have one that's backed by gold?
It's actually the reverse. Whatever you can do with gold and fiat, we can do in Bitcoin.
No, you can't, because you can't store value with Bitcoin.
Bitcoin has been a tremendous store of value.
No, it hasn't. It's been a great speculative asset that is appreciated. Bitcoin's price has gone up.
For the last 15 years, for its entire existence.
Right, but first of all, that's not a lot of time in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin has price. I don't dispute that there is a price for Bitcoin, but price and value are two completely different things. You cannot store a price. Bitcoin has a price today. I don't know what the price is going to be tomorrow, but it has no value today, and it's going to have no value tomorrow. But that doesn't stop people from buying it. But the value that most people place in Bitcoin is that they think they're going to get rich if they buy it. They think if I buy this Bitcoin and I just hold on to it and ride out all the volatility, I'm going to be rich. So that's what people are buying. They're buying that lottery ticket that's going to pay off. And when people don't want to buy that anymore, when people stop believing in this fantasy that Bitcoin is going to the moon, then there's not going to be any demand for it anymore.
You're looking at that purely from a speculator's perspective.
Well, that's who buys Bitcoin, by and large. Now, look, most of the people in this room,
I don't know,
are diehard Bitcoin maxis that actually believe all this nonsense. Fine, but the vast majority of people buying, who do you think is buying Bitcoin?
How many people
ETFs?
in the audience are developing something in the Bitcoin ecosystem? Developers, coders, project. Not a lot, but there's quite a few developers here, right? So not everybody's a speculator. So speculators, yes.
No, this room, this is a biased sample.
Of course,
I mean,
yeah.
if
But
you
it
look,
exists.
right? Yes, but this is a tiny part of what's driving Bitcoin at this point. If you look at who is buying the Bitcoin ETFs, right, that have been the lion's share of the buying before these corporate treasury companies, these are not, true believers. They are just buying it because it's going up. They're seeing all the hype, and they're being told, you got to buy this. It's the digital. It's going to go up. It's the new thing. And so people are buying it in their stock portfolios. They don't care about any of the qualities that you talk about that Bitcoin has. They don't care about any of that. They don't self-custody.
But the institution's also
They're
for
buying it in
survival.
their brokerage account.
For
It's
survival.
a symbol, and they're looking at it to go up. And when it stops going up and it starts going down, they're just going to sell. They're just going to move on and take their chips and put them in someplace else.
Peter, what you described exists in stock markets, in traditional fiat markets as well. So there's speculators in every market, and then there's builders who are building the ecosystem, who are building utility value. The speculators are always loud. That's why NASDAQ exists, right? So all the guys who are buying Bitcoin ETFs, they already bought stocks. They already have stock ETFs, currency ETFs, etc. So that exists in traditional markets as well.
Yeah, look.
Just having them doesn't mean that Bitcoin has no value.
No, well,
right?
yes, just because there's speculators in the stock market, too, doesn't mean that legitimizes Bitcoin because they're speculators. Look, when you're speculating...
It's reversed. Just having speculators does not delegitimize.
But when I'm speculating on a stock, at least in theory, I'm speculating on a business, and I'm making a bet that business becomes more valuable in the future than it is today because it has more sales, it has more earnings, it pays a higher dividend. So I'm betting on the growth of a business.
Just look at this company. Go Binance.
Right. Well, sure. Well, Binance is not big. Binance is a great business right now, right? You're the casino. The house wins, right?
No, we're
not
not
gambling.
We are a licensed we're a licensed financial institution in 30-something countries now.
All right. Well, okay. Apart from that, but I'm talking about the people that are just trading Bitcoin on the platform. But I just forgot what I was talking about before you interrupted. What was the point that I was about to make? I just don't even remember.
We were talking about speculators.
Oh yeah, right. So you're speculating on a company becoming more valuable. When I buy Bitcoin is not going to generate more income in the future than it does now because it generates no income now. Bitcoin is not an income-producing asset. When I'm speculating on Bitcoin, all I'm doing is betting that somebody in the future is going to pay a higher price than I did. I'm just betting that there's going to be more demand for Bitcoin in the future than there is now, and that the price is going to be higher. So it's a pure speculation on price without any other factor. And so Bitcoin is far more speculative in nature than what people are doing in the stock market or in the real estate market. Now, most people, when you're buying a stock, I'm buying a business now that generates income that pays dividends. Not all stocks are simply, gambling on the growth of a business that may or may not come. But Bitcoin is 100% speculation. In that I'm buying it solely because I believe that somebody will pay a higher price. And the only reason that person is going to buy it is because they believe that the next person is going to pay a higher price for the exact same thing,
Peter,
even though it hasn't changed at all.
But we just established that the speculators are only a small part of the ecosystem. Even though they're very loud, they trade a lot. But we just discussed this point, right?
But that's what's driving the Bitcoin price.
We were saying that this small section of speculators represent all of crypto, all of Bitcoin. That's not true, right?
Well, that's what drove the price up to 90,000. Without all those, where do you think Bitcoin's price would be right now if all this speculative money hadn't poured in, to all these ETFs? And
it was $70K without any institutions, any ETFs, anything.
Buying up Bitcoin without all that speculative money. Where do you think the price would be?
I don't think I can convince you on this. But again, you are taking a small sample of the.
It's
population.
not small.
Small or big, but you're taking a portion of it and sort of overgeneralizing that to the entire industry. If it's only speculators, the price wouldn't be there. There will always be some fundamental holders that support the price.
Well, it's mostly, I would say, over those past 4 years, right, where Bitcoin is down by 40% against gold, I would say that at least half of the people who own Bitcoin today bought it over the last 4 years.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
And probably more than half the value, half the market cap was purchased in these last 4 years.
Well, every peak, the more value gets purchased at a later stage. But
people are, and so there's a lot of people now.
In terms of number of people, I'm not too sure because in this cycle, there's a lot of ETF, as you said, there's a lot.
Right.
Of ETF.
Well, that includes all the individual shareholders in these ETFs.
Yeah.
Right. They own Bitcoin through these ETFs, and so they've come in recently. They don't have these big gains that people have that came in a long time ago.
You can't have big gains just you buy any asset. You can't expect big gains like a year.
Yes, they are. Of course, the people that bought Bitcoin expected big gains. They were told. I mean, go back to the beginning of the year. What were all the look? Bitcoin is lower now than it was January 1st. But if you go back, it was
higher than November last year.
Well, yeah, because it sold off before then. But if you go back to all the forecasts that were made by guys like Saylor, beginning of this year, where was everybody saying Bitcoin was going to be by the end of the year? I mean, nobody said lower. It was 200,000, 250,000. There were all these, pie in the sky forecasts. So people were buying Bitcoin expecting to go to the moon. They weren't expecting to lose money, which is happening.
There's a few guys who make forecasts. I usually don't make forecasts, but the price goes up and down, right? So people invest. They need to take the risk. Well, they need to understand that.
Well, I think a lot of the people.
Same thing with gold. Same thing with stock markets, right?
Well, but you haven't had a big influx of private investors in gold. Look, I've been in the gold business. I've had Shift Gold since 2010.
Why is that? And there has been an influx in crypto, but there hasn't been in gold.
Because gold doesn't have a sexy get-rich-quick story to it.
But you just said gold will go higher quicker.
Yeah,
Bitcoin's not get-rich-quick.
Gold has done a lot better than Bitcoin the last couple of years, last 4 years. But most people have bought Bitcoin. They haven't bought gold. But central banks are buying gold. I mean, they know what they're doing. They're buying gold. They're not buying Bitcoin. But eventually, I think private investors will start buying more gold. And I think the air coming out of the crypto bubble will help move that process along. In fact, I think one of the reasons that Bitcoin was able to do so well, from when it started until, recently, was because gold went sideways for about 12, 13 years. Gold went from...
And that's exactly the time when Bitcoin started.
Yes, well, because gold went from $300 an ounce, under $300 an ounce in 1999, 2000, and it went up to $1,900 in 2011, right? And so it had a big gain, and it attracted some money as a result of those huge returns. But then it just, kind of went sideways, and Bitcoin comes on the scene, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's going way up, and it's being sold. Hey, this is digital gold.
We can stop
this
the
is
debate
better
right there.
than gold. This is gold 2.0. And as long as gold wasn't performing, that created an opportunity for Bitcoin to kind of steal some of its thunder and get money out of gold stocks, into crypto stocks. But now that gold has broken out of that consolidation, gold has now doubled in the last 2 years, and silver now is caught up, and now silver's at record highs. Silver's almost $60 an ounce, so it's broken through its $50 double top. So now we're in another stage of precious metals bull market where gold and silver are not going sideways. They should continue to go up year after year for many, many years to come. And so in that environment, I think it's very difficult for Bitcoin to compete because now the people who have gold have no reason to sell it to buy Bitcoin. And I think people who made the mistake of selling their Bitcoin a few years ago and buying gold are going to regret that, and they're going to try to reverse that trade. They're going to try to sell their Bitcoin and get back into gold. But that's going to be a big problem because there's no buyers for the Bitcoin. And so I think the price will collapse.
All right, so I think we can agree to disagree on that note. I do hope gold to be successful. I do hope your digitized gold to be successful.
Well, maybe we could work together on that project.
Absolutely.
And I want to get my token listed traded on Binance.
Absolutely. So we welcome you to the blockchain digital world, and I, of course, believe completely differently that I think I think gold will do well, but I think Bitcoin will do even better. That's my view. But
I don't think it will be able to
Yes.
compete with gold, especially when it's,
we'll find out next year.
Yeah, well.
But lastly, thank you, Peter, for coming over, and I wish you all the success in digitizing gold.
All right, well, my pleasure.
Nice,
All right,
guys.
Thank
Nice.
you so much. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. So that was the main event. 1-2 punch. Still, I think, gold's still lagging behind Bitcoin. You can't tokenize gold and still trust it. It requires a second party to trust it. I'm not about that. And I also don't like traveling with any more gold than I can. This is about the most you can travel with gold here in the United States, or else you're going to get it seized and asked a ton of questions. And that's about actually it's went up quite a bit since the last time I traveled with it. Crap. Last time I traveled with that was like 10, 12 grand. I don't know what it's worth now, actually. I don't know. That's the whole point. Anyway, still not a big fan of holding a SHIT ton of gold, right? Compared to my stack of Bitcoin. Because again, it could be, there's so much, what do you call it? Risk. So much more risk in your personal life just holding that amount of gold if anyone gets wind of it. All right, 89,200 on Bitcoin since we just finished the open debate between Peter Schiff and CZ. I cannot believe I'm a little tipsy because I've been drinking the whole time. But I think I can still get through the rest of the live. All right, guys, let's catch back in the chat real quick. I'm gonna read like the last 10 lines or so, and then I'm, of course, gonna try to, while I still have my vocal motor skills, I'm gonna try to give us, of course, a good outlook into the weekend. The weekly close happening, guys, tonight. Already happened. I think we already missed it. But anyway. So what are we looking at here? Andra, yes, Nebs, better start baking your own bread, dude. I learned how to make gluten-free sourdough bread. Comes out pretty good. You guys are talking about bread, talking about fish oil. You're talking about all sorts of crazy stuff. Oatmeal cookies in the chat. Yes, Ben. I'm into the whole wheat, but almost never eat it. I don't even keep bread in my house. I don't keep any bread in my house. That's insane. Most of the bread in the United States is just, it's definitely not, it's like Play-Doh. it literally lasts forever. It doesn't mold. It's weird. It's weird stuff. Weird stuff. Bread to me is a luxury I only eat when I go out to dinner. Okay, no tokenization of gold, Lawrence. Yes, tokenizing gold is, I mean, do it if you want, but you still have to worry about that other party to verify that it's real. It's the same system we have right now with Fort Knox, and everyone doesn't believe it's there. How are you going to believe that the tokenized stuff is there as well? Even if you did put a tracking device and tokenize that on a blockchain on a piece of or bar of gold, I'm not going to believe that bar of gold is really actually gold and not just a painted gold brick. I mean, there's too much that has to go into that. Maybe if there's some way to scientifically validate the contents of whatever the device is attached to, embedded inside of it. I don't know what you'd have to do to convince me. I really just don't like it. I don't like the idea at all altogether. I like my Bitcoin and I like how much I hold. Anyway, moving on. Feed the fire. Yes, Feed the Fire Friday. Milk money. I burned a little bit earlier, but I can't burn much more. I singed a few bills. This one got decimated though. That one's gone. That fiber. Yes. Bro, if I had a fuck you gold, then I'd sell some for digital on chains and other precious metals. Maybe a couple chickens too, says Cliff. That's what he's looking for. Let's stay physical. 100%, Andra. 100% with you on that. And I only hold enough physical that I feel comfortable with holding, which is why I don't have more than I do Bitcoin. What else we got? So we just got some movements happening here while I'm on the live. Ethereum just fell 5% in 24 hours. That's my alarm right now going off. And Miria going down another 10%. What else is new? Am I surprised? Not really. Those are my alarms going off right now with the WTF bomb alarm. Let's take a look at Ethereum right now. Still holding 3,000. Doing okay. Bitcoin, of course, struggling to keep 89 currently at 89.2. And the other one was Miria, which is beating itself down into a pulp at the very bottom edge. We did see a breakout yesterday, but we already lost all those gains to the upside, down right now 22% from 24 hours from ago on the daily candle. All right. Again, I'm just shouting out what I have my alarm set up. Big moves to the up or downside, about 10% on some of my coins in my portfolio. All right, what else we got, guys? Bitcoin price action over the next 3 days. I do this every single Friday night, and tonight is no exception. Let's do it again. Let's clean up last night's live stream. Last night was the first time in over a month we were wrong about the price action direction in Bitcoin. We called for baseline bull. Yeah, and we didn't get it. So again, you can't win them all. 97% accuracy on the channel, roughly still. Yeah. All right. Continuing on to fight another day. So again, I'm gonna put these in place for you guys at home. If you're not familiar with my my doings, of course. Oh, okay. I've got extra ones here. That's cool. I'll use that extra 9. Of course, I do Crypto Chaos Magic every single day. I'm on vacation right now. I guess I should call it vacation now, since I'm going to be staying here until the bull run occurs, which may be forever. I don't know. I'm in sunny Florida. This is a simulation. Let's break it. Let's break the simulation. There it is. I broke it. Again, guys, out of the studio right now. Studio is still behind me. Again, in spirit. Yeah, I'm on vacation here in sunny Florida, spending some time with friends and family and doing the show, as of course I always do. What I normally do when I'm in the studio is I do Crypto Chaos Magic, which of course relies on all the psychology in the markets and of course the chaos that ensues in these markets. Roll it away, Sailor!
Bitcoin's powered by chaos. When
Yes!
Godzilla walks onto the playground, you know, all your models, they're all going to be destroyed.
We're waiting. That was Sailor 2024, actually. I believe that was his 2024 speech. All right. So yeah, this is 9, 12, 3, and 9. I'm just putting these in place for you guys who are not familiar with this. I basically put up all of the volatile moments in our space. Basically just an indicator for me over the weekend so I can track, of course, the time frames. And if you guys are used to, of course, or not used to my methods on this madness, is 9 o'clock usually is the market open on this side of the world or the other side of the world. 9 and 12, of course, being the intraday trading, the beginning, the start of intraday trading on the other side of the world or this side of the world, and the close roughly ending down or winding down around 3 p.m., 3 a.m. Of course, it doesn't matter the side of the world if you get, of course, following Eastern Standard Time with us tonight. All right, so yeah, I'm going to place these in position. These are going to be my indicators for the weekend, just kind of show you guys where the likelihood Bitcoin is going to go in price action over these time frames. All right, so I'm marking basically all the 9s from here. That's going to be basically the market wakes up, or I guess the other side of the world wakes up, or we wake up on this side of the world, or we go to sleep. Yeah, so 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. basically on this side of the world or the other. Marking these all the way into, of course, Monday morning here in the United States, right about here. And again, this is just the ritual we do every single week. Okay, here we go. 9 p.m. there. All right, so there we go. We got a nice firm schedule for the weekend. And here we go. We're going to predict where Bitcoin is likely to go into the entire weekend. Who else can do this 3 days in advance? No one else. I've never seen anyone else do it, but I do have really good success at doing it. For whatever reason, let's go. Another swig of my drink there. Okay, here we go, guys. All right, so Bitcoin for baseline target over the weekend into Monday morning. Let's do it. Okay, so baseline target. We're probably going to come back up and retest maybe 89 one more time tonight. We're not going to get much volatility or liquidity really moving. So again, probably going to see maybe top that off right there around like 1:32, 2 or 3 o'clock. Come back down and retest 89,000 flat. Again, baseline target. Maybe we even see a low of 88.7 or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of shake whatever out over the weekend. Again, providing no black swan events from between now and, of course, Monday. This is what our baseline is more than likely going to look like. 89.9, hopefully fully going to recover back into the morning on Saturday here for the United States. Looking a bit bullish there for that inverted head and shoulders forming into, of course, the evening. The evening could see a breakout. That would be right around here at around 7 or 8, 9 o'clock. Wouldn't be too much, and it would be short-lived. Again, somewhere around like midnight, 2 to 3:30 a.m. See that come back down, retest 90K. Maybe flipping that into support over into the weekend. Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of chop upward into the weekend and kind of struggling around these ranges. Here's 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, maybe starting to come up a little bit, but mostly waiting until about 9 p.m. on Sunday, where we usually start to see a little bit of a rise in the markets, as early sometimes as 7 a.m. in the foreign markets, which would be around 7, 8 p.m. here in the United States. All right, moving on. So yeah, we're looking at maybe a potential breakout towards 91, 92. I don't know if we're going to get as high as 93. Guys, again, we're leading up to a Fed rate cut on Wednesday where this does not feel like it's been priced in. I repeat, the same rhetoric I had this morning, and I did, of course, at the beginning of this live stream. So yeah, maybe I'm asking just for the baseline target to just flip 93 into support. Maybe coming back down to retest 91 and some change 92 by the morning open on Monday. All right, so that sets us up for our baseline target into Monday. That's, again, nothing crazy. Just a little chop up and to the right, like we've, of course, seen in the past over the weekends before. The good example would be probably right here, going from Friday into the weekend. Just a little bit of chop up and to the right until we get to about Sunday here. And, of course, completely roll this into a bullish momentum. That's, of course, from the end of November into where we are now. In December, with the big fall off we had at the beginning of the month, right? All right, moving on. That was, of course, the flash crash I'm talking about on the 1st. All right. Okay, anyway, what are we looking at next? So that's our baseline target. We're doing bear case scenario now. Bear case scenario. Let me clean this up, too. I missed one. There we go. Oh, yeah, and then our little, prediction we had this afternoon, which pretty much came to fruition anyway. All right, let's clean the rest of this stuff up and get going again. All right, that's clean, nice and clean. All right, so baseline is in the books. We're looking at a worst case scenario for a bear target if a black swan event were to occur. Ooh, I don't know, maybe we send it back down to, if we get a rejection here in the next hour or two, we come back down, we retest 88K, we come back up to retest 99 or 89, get rejected, and then start to decline towards 85. 85 might be the lowest we see, but if it isn't, we could go back all the way down to 80,000 flat. Which could, of course, happen over the course of the entire weekend, providing some sort of black swan-like event. Again, that would be down here. And, of course, a really bullish-looking setup, actually, for the week of the Fed rate cut. I would be okay with that, actually, going into a bear case scenario. Anyway, so that's our bear case scenario right there for the weekend. And then, of course, we do our bull. We're getting very divided here now. Our bull case scenario is going to go as high as 93K right out the gate. I would say somewhere between now and Saturday afternoon. Maybe into Sunday afternoon. No, Sunday afternoon. Would be about 93, 94. Maybe we start to see about what is it? About I'm getting the time frame all messed up here. 5 or 6 p.m. We start to come up early and see a high of maybe like 96. I don't know if we're gonna go much higher than that. The highest we probably would go would be like 98K. All right, and that would be our bull case scenario for Bitcoin over the weekend. I definitely need to redraw that again for the time frame though, because that does not play out and according to what we normally see. It'd be somewhere around here then. Okay, 7 a.m. we'd see a retracement in the morning and then start to come back around here. Yeah, that's about close enough. Yeah, that's close enough. Screw it, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the first one. All right, and then I don't want to anger the gods, guys. Anger the chaos gods, of course. Super bear case scenario would be, of course, our worst case scenario would be the the nearest, I guess, CME target we have not hit yet, which would send us down to $75,000 Bitcoin again. We still have never hit the super bear target ever. We've gotten close 2 times this year, but we never actually hit it. All right, so of course sends us back down to the CME gap and fills that for the the super bear black swan event of the century. Sure, why not? Let me get that a little more visible. There we go. Super bear target is on the books now, and then of course our super bull target, which guys we've never seen before, because that would send us up to probably 120,000, sending us to the largest candle we've ever seen in a single day, which would be about a $30,000 candle for Bitcoin, where its price action is right now. That would be insane if that were to play out, and I'm just going to leave that on the board there. And again, we've seen the Super Bowl case scenario play out 3 times this year, and I'm waiting for the 4th. All right, guys, and then of course my last step in this is to show you guys where I personally feel we should be at by the end of the weekend. And I'm still going to do the same thing I did yesterday, even though I'm probably going to eat my words again, like I did yesterday. We're oversold AF. This does not feel like it's priced in. We need to start making it feel like it's priced in. We should be baseline bull into the weekend. This is getting ridiculous. Ridiculous. But anything's possible, of course. I'm probably going to be leaning more towards the baseline either way. Maybe a little bit higher. I don't know if we're going to see these ridiculous ranges, but again, if the whales want to play more games, you can play more games, and they can, of course, send more of that down to the downside. Maybe we do see something like this more like likely play out, more like a fake out, maybe heading towards the bull case scenario, landing on our baseline, then ending more towards the bear side, towards the market open, like we saw the last 2 times we got robbed, right towards the tail end of the market open. Or I guess the very beginning of the market open, within hours, like within 2 or 3 hours of the market open, we send it to the downside. So it's more than likely that's how it's going to play out this time too. Just like, I can feel the whale games, man. I can feel it. It shouldn't be that way. It really should just be baseline bull, but it's probably just going to end up being baseline bear anyway. All right, guys, so that's how I currently feel about the market right now. The overall sentiment is definitely not priced in. It doesn't feel like it's priced in whatsoever. If anything, there's definitely heavily market manipulation occurring. And obviously, we know what's going on with JP Morgan and, the MSCI. Ridiculous nonsense against strategy. All right, let's go. Lo Sang Slurtaku. I guess I've had enough. I had enough to drink already, but it's going to continue on the after party, guys. If you are part of course, Crypto Futures live stream, Patreon, then, of course, you will see me over at the after party over there at the open mic for the next few hours. We'll be over there until we pass out. Or I'll be over there until I pass out.
Stupid.
All right, guys. All right. So, let me catch up a little bit in the chat. Redonkulars, says Andra. Yes. Let's go. Bull case scenario, says Lawrence. I hope so, Surf Life. I hope so. Is that all age they understands how magical life is? Time can numb us, unfortunately, says Ben. Gamma God says, little Gigi loves simple stuff, and she loves nature, and the stars, and the moon. That's beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. What else we got in the chat here? And yes, she loves boxes, especially if she can fit inside of them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Ben Lawrence says, nice. My daughter used to love to build Legos, draw, read, and with me and just play. I was the same way when I was a kid too. I used to play with boxes and turn boxes into haunted houses and all sorts of crazy stuff when I was a little kid. Yes, little Gigi. Ben Lawrence, she needs to make them into castles and be the queen. Or the princess. More like the princess. Come on, baby. All right. Come on, Ben. She has a Lego table with all of her Legos, and she loves her books and drawing also. Oh, my gosh. Ben Lawrence, you guys in the chat are redonkulous. Okay, Andra says, yeah, that's the cause. Little Gigi, she got the best of the best mama. And it's so nice to see babies and kids that way. Too many kids nowadays are just the opposite. Yeah, they just live on freaking Fortnite. Fortnite's got all the skins and all the characters and all the people. You know, Spider-Man's from Fortnite. Oh my God.
What are you, stupid?
That's basically the kids these days. Yes. Okay, enjoy little GG. One day I'll graduate from the fiat debt system, says Cliff, my robot friend. Yes, all love in the chat for you, GG. I'm glad you're thinking about homeschool, says Bam. Nice. All right, guys, and with that, I think I bid you guys adieu. Hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream and, the live event. It was a good one. I definitely enjoyed it. I feel like Peter Schiff was talking way too much, more than I even do. I feel like it was 75, maybe 80% just Peter Schiff. Just talking over himself the whole time. But CC did okay. Love him or hate him, he did very well. And I think Bitcoin's going to survive another day. I think it's not the end for gold as well. I think both of them are very significant in their own way, but I think gold's definitely going to win in the grand scheme of things. We need a real universal currency for the world, and of course a savings vehicle that doesn't devalue itself over time. All right, and with that, guys, I will leave you. Have a great night, and I will see you on Monday. Have a good one. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid. Later.
Fly me to the moon, let me trade a montage. Let me see what freedom's like without money and gold bars. In other words, gold 19. Oh! In other words, let's make history.
It's so beautiful, but it defies all logic while it's not yellow. Anyway, guys. Oh, yes. I got a fortune cookie. Yes. Yes. What else we got going on as the fortune tonight? Any good news? Give me some good news. Over the weekend, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Everyone is fun. You just need to find their fun side. Ha. Okay. Later, guys. What the hell?
thing.